Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into an instrument that's so massive, it's literally part of the building it's in. It's a machine of incredible complexity and just breathtaking power, the magnificent pipe organ. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. We're not just talking about an instrument. This is architectural sound. For centuries, its rich, booming voice has been the soul of Christian worship, a constant, powerful presence in some of the most famous cathedrals on Earth. So, architectural sound, what an idea, right? But how does this musical monster actually work? Well, it's a fascinating mix of mechanics and art, and it all starts with a few core components. Okay, so at its very core, an organ has three main parts that have to work together perfectly. You've got the pipes, obviously, that's the voice of the instrument, but to make them sing, the organist uses their hands on the keyboards and, get this, their feet on the pedal board. These are the controls that shoot pressurized air into just the right pipes to bring the music to life. Now, the organ's incredible range, from a floor-shaking rumble to a soaring high note, it all comes down to some really beautiful, simple physics. You have these huge, long pipes that vibrate slowly, and that's where you get those deep, booming bass notes. And then you have the small, skinny pipes that vibrate super fast, creating those brilliant high notes. The real magic is in the precise combination of thousands of these, giving the organ its massive sonic palette. And the control doesn't stop with just hitting the right note. That pedal board gives the organist all this expressive power, and a huge part of that is the swell pedal. Now, don't think of it like a gas pedal. Think of it more like a volume knob. It lets the player build the sound up or bring it down to a whisper, adding that crucial layer of emotion and feeling to the music. You know, the organ we see today didn't just appear out of nowhere. Oh no. It's the result of centuries of tinkering, innovation, and refinement. Its journey really mirrors the history of the incredible cathedrals it calls home. The organ's evolution is really a story of human ingenuity. The first organs, back in the 12th century, they were pretty clunky. But then came mechanical action, which was this huge leap forward, giving organists a direct physical link to the pipes. But the real game changer was electric action in the 19th century. All of a sudden, the keyboard console could be separate from the pipes, which meant builders could create instruments on a scale nobody had ever dreamed of. This just blew the doors open for new sounds and kicked off what we call the golden age of organ building. So this whole technological journey led to some of the most stunning instruments ever made, and they're housed in equally jaw-dropping locations all over the world. Let's start with maybe the most famous of them all, the organ at Notre Dame in Paris. Some of its parts actually date back to the medieval era. Can you imagine? Its sound has filled that sacred space for hundreds of years. What's so amazing is how it's grown and changed over time, becoming this living monument to the history of organ building itself. Hopping over to London, the organ in Westminster Abbey has a very royal pedigree. Its roots go back to the 18th century. But a huge rebuild in the 20th century gave it that powerful, grand voice we hear at coronations and royal weddings. It's a sound that is just synonymous with British history. And for a real look into the deep past, you have to go to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela in Spain. It has an organ with parts from the 12th century. It's just a breathtaking link to the earliest days of this instrument. I mean, just try to imagine the skill it took to build something that complex with medieval tools. It's an incredible testament to their craftsmanship. Okay, so from these historic European cathedrals, let's bring it over to the US and take a closer look at a really famous American example, the incredible organ at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. Just look at that number, over 5,000 pipes. That single number tells you everything you need to know about the insane scale and complexity we're dealing with here. That's not just an instrument, it's basically a symphony orchestra in a box. So this masterpiece was built in 1904 by the famous firm Aeolian, and it was designed to be way more than just a music maker. It was created to be a symbol of the church's spiritual life. Its rich, powerful sound was meant to echo the very beauty and majesty of God. And that idea, that symbolic role, really gets to the heart of why the pipe organ has been so vital to the Christian faith for so long. Its impact goes way beyond just playing hymns on a Sunday. This quote just nails it. The organ isn't background music. Its sound is woven deep into the emotional fabric of worship. You know what I mean? The triumphant joy of a wedding, the deep sorrow of a funeral, the absolute awe of a Christmas service. The organ is the soundtrack for these huge human moments. So really, its role breaks down into three big things. First, it just elevates the entire worship experience. Second, that huge unified sound acts as a symbol of the whole community gathered together. And finally, it adds this incredible depth and gravity to sacred moments like baptisms and communion. Which brings us to one last question. In our world of synthesizers and digital music, a world where any sound you can imagine is just a click away, what's the place for this intricate, physical, mechanical marvel? Well, it's a living testament to history, to craftsmanship, and to a sound that continues to move the human spirit, maybe now more than ever.